Hi everyone, it's Kim at Good Vibe Astrology, and today we're going to talk about Mercury retrograde. Everything I'm going to say about retrograde Mercury applies to any of the planets that turn retrograde periodically. Every planet will have a retrograde period. This does not include the luminaries. The moon and the sun will never appear to be going backwards. The thing that you have to remember about Mercury retrograde is, number one, the planets do not actually stop, turn around, and go backwards. Let's use this illustration to see what's really happening. Here we have the Earth in relationship to an inner planet transit. For example, this could be Mercury or Venus. And if I put the tracer on, you can see what's actually happening. When the planet is closest to Earth, it appears to slow down, turn around, and go backwards. We can see this in an extended sense if we look at Mars, which moves much slower. But it becomes very clear how as we approach Mars, as the transit of Mars becomes closer, it appears to stop, turn around, and go backwards. Here it is with the tracer. And again, notice that it's when Mars and the Earth are in conjunction. In other words, they are as close as they can possibly be in the sky, is when you're going to see this retrograde motion. And there he went, turned around, and went backwards. Okay. Here we have the ephemeris running for about 10 months. It's a 5-day ephemeris, so we get planetary positions once every 5 days. You're going to notice the RX, or prescription sign. And when we see that after the position of a planet, we know that means it is appearing to go backwards. It is in what we call retrograde motion. Astronomers call forward direction prograde, but you won't really hear that term in astrology so much. You will hear retrograde, stationary, and direct. Looking here, we can see that we have Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Chiron, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. There's another way to look at this to see what's going on, and that's when we look at the astro clock. And we can see that Mercury is retrograde and transiting backwards towards the sun, and they're nearly conjunct. By tomorrow, they will be exact at 14 degrees of Pisces. Also, Saturn, over here at 11 Scorpio, is retrograde. All right, so what does this mean to have the planets going retrograde? Right away, we know that the retrograde planet is catching up to the sun. It's actually closer to the sun, and the sun represents consciousness. So what the planet represents to us is going to sink in. It's going to be easier for us to understand, and we become more introverted and reflective with it. One way of looking at Mercury retrograde is to see it as the trickster, and know that whatever synchronistic events coincide with the Mercury retrograde, they're there to wake something up in us, to open our eyes and get us to change course if we have been on a path that hasn't been authentic. Let's look at Mercury right now, which has turned retrograde on the 24th of February and will continue retrograde until the 17th of March. Where is this retrograde motion happening in our example chart? The way to find out is look at the degrees. We know that it's going retrograde between 19 degrees of Pisces and 5 degrees of Pisces. So where in the chart is this happening? Remember, the signs progress counterclockwise around the chart. So we have Leo rising, and we follow right along until we see the sign of Pisces. That's 23 degrees of Pisces. So we back up to about here, 19 degrees of Pisces. And Mercury will be going all the way back to 5 degrees of Pisces. So this person is experiencing Mercury retrograde through the 7th house. And that tells us that the area of life most stimulated by this reflective quality and this bit of the trickster, where situations and synchronicities are going to pop up to enlighten and awaken our perceptions in that area of life, is all about partnerships, relationship. This is slowing down. It's almost like we go into slow motion where we can reflect and deepen our understanding. Okay, that's it for today. Go get your chart out and plot where any retrograde planet is transiting